Okay, so good afternoon. This is the regular meeting of the Alameda County Local Agency Formation Commission for Thursday, May the 8th, 2025. Call the meeting to order now. First order of business is a pledge of allegiance, so please join me. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So the next item on the agenda is a roll call. Will staff call the roll?
Yes, Chair. Chair Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Balch.
Present.
Commissioner Faria. Commissioner Haubert. Commissioner Marchand.
Here.
Commissioner Miley.
Here.
Commissioner Splendorio, absent. Alternate Commissioner Hu.
Yes.
Alternate Commissioner Tam, absent. Alternate Commissioner Von Heater Leopold.
Here.
Alternate Commissioner Warner.
Here.
Alternate Commissioner Warner will be voting for a Commissioner Splendorio today. Let the record reflect, roll call has been taken and we have a quorum.
So thank you. Next item is public comment. Anyone from the audience may address the commission on any matter not listed on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of LAFCO. Commission cannot act upon matters not appearing on the agenda, and speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Do we have any speaker cards?
I do not have one. Oh, excuse me. I do have some. Sorry.
Okay.
Don't worry, we knew you were coming.
Well, thank you for driving all the way out here to the far distant reaches of Dublin. It seems to me that the people here are what do you call the suckers, or the ones who showed up, the suckers or the dummies, because they took the trouble to come here. It is possible to just sit on teleconference on telephone or on Zoom or whatever they call it, and not have to show up. And you can do that quite a number of times. It's perfectly legal. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows you can just repeatedly not show up. It's okay. Go on the internet and don't leave all the chairs. It's okay nowadays, and you can get away with that for quite a while. Also, I want to talk about what was in the news yesterday. Pleasanton Weekly headline: residents in unincorporated neighborhood of Pleasanton left without water. After months of using hoses connected to fire hydrants, city shuts off temporary remedy due to risk to overall water system. CBS News: crumbling water main leaves people in a Pleasanton neighborhood high and dry. And by the way, if you go out to the neighborhood, the reporters have been out there. They took pictures. The roads are like unpaved or gravel or something. There's no sidewalks, and they have no sidewalks. And they're crumbling water supply. No, so this is just a dispute about services. Now, these services were extended. There's a contract written like 50, 60 years ago between the city of Pleasanton and they've been billing these people for 50 years for water services based on some contract. But now the terms of that contract are in dispute. The city now says that those pipes have to be maintained by the private parties, and the private parties say the opposite. They say have to be maintained by the city, and they're made out of steel. And one of the things you learn from like Lawrence Livermore or chemistry class is that steel doesn't last forever, and it might like crumble, and that's what it did. And the other ones that are made out of steel will crumble sooner or later. So now, it's real. What LAFCO, this also is an enclave of Pleasanton. And those people are receiving, I guess, second-rate services. And the question is, what are the terms of services, and what about incorporation? What are the terms of this contract? When this thing was done, and the municipal services are being provided by the city to these unincorporated people. So, but what are the terms? And now there's a big dispute. LAFCO has a role in this. LAFCO can step in and come on in and sort these things out. I thought that's what LAFCO was built for. And, and LAFCO has experts on it, like, let's say, the mayor of Pleasanton, who should know something about Pleasanton's position with respect to this. So I urge you to take a look at this problem, look at CBS News, and look at the newspaper.
Okay, thank you. Next item is the consent calendar. Would any commissioners like to pull out an item to discuss before we have a motion?
I just have a question. I'll move the consent, but just a question. It talks about required files could be delivered by either email, disk, or USB drive. But then it also specifies Mylar and paper maps. I thought it was kind of curious that it required the use of it says on page 3, it says final submitted requirements, one original permanent Mylar, a Mylar of the original signed, and a paper copy, but then it allows the files under as USB. So page 3 of the appendix, and let's see, and then page 9 of the appendix as well.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner
There is to require both
Mershon.
paper and Mylar.
I believe for that, it's for the final submittal requirements. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think for that, that is a requirement due for submitting those documents to the county recorder's office. They require them to be in Mylar form. And those final submittal requirements are for LAFCO to receive from the county surveyor.
Okay, all right.
If that
I
makes
don't
sense.
understand. They required both.
Yes.
And they're sort of mutually exclusive.
Yes. So those requirements, I understand that, and that might be something we can edit, but usually those are just what we need to submit to the county recorder's office to record the change of organization. So I think what the county surveyor was trying to do was to, assist a little bit, because we have a lot of requirements for applicants, and to reduce that by not having to submit those paper copies. But the final form that we need to submit that to the county clerk's recorder's office is the paper copies.
Okay, all right. I just want to clarify that. Yeah.
If I could follow on that, that doesn't sound like the thing that should happen. Is there any way that we could suggest to the county that they might want to understand what century we're in and maybe change those requirements?
I would love to, but I believe for that, I think they're all submitted by paper with the county
No, what I'm
clerk's
saying
recorder.
is somebody has made the decision, they could change it. I would suggest that we just bring it to their attention. And specifically, we have a couple of county supervisors that might want to make the process more efficient.
I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
So I do have a motion. Do I have a second for the consent?
I'll second.
So I have a motion and a second. Is there any public discussion on this matter? Seeing none, this is going to be a roll call vote.
Chair Johnson.
Aye.
Commissioner Balsh.
Aye.
Commissioner Faria.
Aye.
Commissioner Haubert. Absent. Commissioner Marchand.
Aye.
Commissioner Miley.
Aye.
Commissioner Warner.
Aye.
Let the record reflect the motion passes.
Okay, so I'll move on to item number 5. That's the adoption of the final operating budget and work plan for fiscal year 2025 and 2026. I'm going to turn this over to staff for a presentation.
Thank you, Chair. This item is for the Commission to consider adopting a final budget and work plan for the upcoming fiscal year. Both items returned to the Commission from their initial presentation and adoption in our March meeting and subsequent public review period. The final budget sets expenses at $910,855, representing an 11.3% increase from our current fiscal year. Revenues are matched to the expenses with an increase in agency contributions by around $63,000. And this is in step with a fund balance offset of $295,000. The increase is marked by expenses as LAFCO transitions towards operational independence and separation from the county. This also includes LAFCO having to formalize our own employee benefits and professional services such as bookkeeping, legal expenses, and payroll. Staff recommends the Commission approve the final budget and work plan for fiscal year 2025-2026 and circulate the items to all of Alameda LAFCO's funding agencies and the general public. The item has been placed on the agenda as a notice public hearing. Staff will return the item to the chair for public comment and commission discussion.
Any questions from the commission?
Commissioner Faria has a
Mary Ellen?
question.
Yes. I had a question regarding the benefits, payroll and benefits. I wondered if the LAFCO analyst position was included in there.
For this, for those benefits now, no. We did fund it for the current fiscal year in a kind of partial form, like a part-time form of when we would hire them. But for our next fiscal year, we have not.
But is the salary included in the salaries?
For the upcoming fiscal year, no, there's no funding for that analyst position at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Any public comment on this item?
No public comment, Chair.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve or
So move.
that's the staff recommendation?
Yes, that
Okay.
recommendation.
I'll second.
So I have a motion and a second. This will be a roll call vote.
Chair Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Balch,
Aye.
Commissioner Faria,
Aye.
Commissioner Hobart, absent. Commissioner Marchand.
Aye.
Commissioner Miley.
Yes.
Commissioner Warner.
Aye.
Let the record reflect that the motion passes.
Okay, we move on to item number 6. That's the recommendation for general counsel services. I'm going to turn this over to staff for a presentation.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. So historically, Alameda LAFCO has received legal services through the Alameda County Counsel's Office. However, as LAFCO transitions toward full independence from the county, it is critical that we have our own dedicated independent legal representation. This council will support the commission in refining its bylaws, agreements, and policies that reflects LAFCO's status as an independent entity. Recognizing the need for specialized legal support, staff prepared a request for proposal for general counsel services that was issued on March 14th. LAFCO received proposals from 3 law firms, and following the evaluations and interviews of those firms, our ad hoc selection committee recommended Calutano, Highsmith, and Watley as LAFCO's general counsel.
Yeah, the best counsel in the state, of course.
The firm has successfully represented numerous LAFCOs and brings a strong understanding of the legal frameworks and challenges associated with independent governance. Current legal counsel, Andrew Massey, has committed to serving Alameda LAFCO as general counsel until December 31st. This ensures seamless transition and the ability to onboard CHW effectively ahead of their full assumption of duties beginning January 1st, 2026. Rather than seeking immediate approval of a finalized contract, staff recommends the commission authorize staff to negotiate the service agreement with Collatuna Highsmith and Watley, including the scope of work, compensation, and a transition structure whereby CHW may begin as a special counsel prior to assuming full duties as general counsel on January 1st. Staff will return to the commission with a finalized agreement for consideration and approval at its next regular meeting. Staff returns the item to the chair for public comment and commission discussion.
Okay, thank you. I do have one speaker card, so Kelly?
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. I rise today to express concerns about the proposed selection of this law firm for the LAFCO contract. While they offer services to municipal governments, their record shows that they have shallow expertise, particularly in complex matters that are often handled by junior associates. They limit their attendance at in-person hearings, and their work product leans towards self-referential and briefs that range from theoretical to table pounding. They lack a solid basis. In short, their approach is detached from the real-world demands of LAFCO matters. This commission needs a legal team with hands-on experience and legal acumen, and I urge you to reconsider awarding them this contract. We have solid local legal firms right here in the Bay Area, like Myers-Navi. Myers-Navi was founded in San Leandro. And there's probably a long list more that are actually competent at doing this work. Colantano is based in Grass Valley, and I'm sure that at the top levels, their people are of the highest quality, but they're not going to come here. They're going to send their lackeys and their low-level people, the ones that when you see them in action, you say, I wouldn't hire them. I wouldn't hire these people. Also, in these things, you know that the city of Dublin has rules for use of electronic devices during meetings. Is that right? That's something for all of you to know. And also the city of Fremont has rules about that also. So just, you know, that, and I hope that when whatever law firm comes in, that they start to think about making up those kind of rules so people aren't staring at their personal devices talking to their babysitter or whatever they do with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion from the commission?
I'd like to hear from the members of the subcommittee that made that decision.
Or the recommendation. Yes, please, through the chair. Can we ask the subcommittee that their background on this recommendation, please?
Sure.
I think it was Commissioner
Bob,
Warner.
did you want to do that or?
Well, I can go first. We had I think, frankly, a tough choice. We had two very qualified firms that have a depth of experience in this. And frankly, I think we were assured that we would have the top quality people available when appropriate. And I think it came down to price is where it is, in my mind, what happened.
Georgine?
I'll say I was very impressed. Who did the present?
Commissioner Von Heater-Leopold, your mic, please.
I'm sorry. I was very impressed with the interview we had with the gentleman that assured us he was going to be here. He was one of the people that lost his house in LA, and he has transferred and now lives in Walnut Creek. And so he will be attending the meeting, and he has extensive experience in LAFCO issues. And what I was impressed most by is the fact that they closely follow state legislation to make sure that we have our say in what's going on. So I really was impressed with the gentleman that we interviewed.
Mary Ellen, did you have a?
I just wanted to reiterate what was just previously said. The gentleman that we spoke to was Matthew Summers, and he did an excellent job. And he is going to be based in Walnut Creek, and he is available to be and participate at our meetings. So, and I also think that it also had to do with the price that was put forward by both of the groups that we organized and spoke to.
So I was the last person on the interview panel. Now, we interviewed 3 firms. One was probably not qualified for our work. BB&K and CHW were eminently qualified for the kind of work we do. CHW does a lot of work for Cal LAFCO. I've taken classes from them in Sacramento, so they're really up to date on LAFCO issues. I think the thing that makes me comfortable with CHW is the fact that, number one, our current counsel, Andrew Massey, has agreed to be with us for the rest of the year, which is a good thing to help us in the transition. And what this contract allows us to do is it gives Rachel the ability to negotiate the terms of the contract with CHW. And I think we've talked about maybe not making it a long-term contract, making it a shorter-term contract. So in case they don't work out, we can go back again and choose somebody else. So that's, I'm comfortable with the decision to go with CHW. The other.
So moved.
So I've got a motion and.
I believe a second by Commissioner Miley.
Okay.
Ask a question.
Oh,
Question.
I think Ralph pretty much answered. So I wanted to know if we do the term contract for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, that still needs to be negotiated.
The term of the contract, I think he's asking.
Yes.
yes. So Commissioner Miley, this is just so we can negotiate a contract to authorize the executive officer to negotiate a contract with CHW. And then the executive officer would provide those contract terms at our next regular meeting for approval.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So I think I've got a motion in this second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, or I guess this is a roll call vote. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Chair Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Balsh,
Aye.
Commissioner Faria,
Aye.
Commissioner Hobart,
Aye.
Commissioner Marchand, Commissioner Miley,
Yes.
Commissioner Warner.
Aye.
Let the record reflect the motion passes.
And moving on to item number 7, the memorandum of understanding, extension and transition plans. I'll turn this over to staff for a presentation.
Thank you, Chair. To ensure continuity of operations during this transition period and in recognition of the county's role in supporting LAFCO's gradual separation, staff and county representatives have negotiated a 6th amendment to the current MOU agreement. The extension provides procurement flexibility for goods and services acquired by LAFCO under its transition plan, and all other terms and conditions of the original MOU as amended will remain in full force and effect. Staff recommends the Commission approve the 6th Amendment to this agreement or the MOU with the County of Alameda, extending through December 31st, and authorize the Executive Officer to execute the amendment on behalf of the Commission. Staff returns the item to the Chair.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any public comments on this item. How about the Commission? Any discussion on the item? No? So I will entertain a motion and a second.
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, this is going to be another roll call vote.
May I ask who seconded?
I second it.
Thank you. Chair Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Balsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Faria,
Aye.
Commissioner Hobart,
Aye.
Commissioner Marchand,
Aye.
Commissioner Miley,
Yes.
Commissioner Warner.
Aye.
Let the record reflect the motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to item number 8, the nomination and election of chair and vice chair. I'll turn this over to staff for a presentation.
So the next rotation for commission chair falls to the special district member, and vice chair under LAFCO's policies, that is open to any member, voting member on the commission. Overall, staff recommends the commission nominate and elect the commission chair following this rotation, and also nominating and electing a vice chair for a period of 2 calendar years. I'll return the item to the chair for that.
Okay.
So I'll nominate Commissioner Johnson for chair.
Second?
So I have a motion and a second. Is there any public discussion on the item? Any further discussion among the commission? This will be
Me.
okay. This will be a roll call vote.
Chair, Vice Chair. Chair Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Balch,
Aye.
Commissioner Faria,
Aye.
Commissioner Hobart,
Aye.
Commissioner Marchand,
Aye.
Commissioner Miley, Commissioner Warner.
Aye.
Let the record reflect the motion passes.
Thank you, everybody. Let's do the vice chair. Any motion for that? First of all, is anybody interested, I guess?
Oh, sure, what the heck.
Okay.
I'll move Mayor Marchand from Livermore.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second is for Mayor Marchand. Any public discussion? Seeing none, all those, or this is the roll call vote. Sorry.
Chair Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Balch,
Aye.
Commissioner Faria,
Aye.
Commissioner Hobart,
Aye.
Commissioner Marchand,
Aye.
Commissioner Miley, Commissioner Miley. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Warner.
Aye.
Let the record reflect the motion passes.
Okay, great.
Thank you, gentlemen, ladies.
Welcome to the team, John.
Second go around.
Yeah. The next item is matters initiated by members of the commission. Does anybody have anything to bring up?
Just want to ask a question, if I may. With respect to annexing properties, does the LAFCO get into forcing it? Doesn't it have to be the property owners that want it?
Yes, that's correct, Commissioner Warner. Unfortunately, LAFCO doesn't have that authority to initiate an annexation. That has to come from the landowners themselves or a city surrounding that island.
Wanted to clarify that.
Mhm.
Well,
Thank
and
you.
I think we've been dealing with the Bremen track on this since I've been here.
Mhm.
And that's, I think, 14 years. And they have refused annexation. They've refused any offer of either from the city or from LAFCO. They do not want to be annexed, and they made that very clear. So, yeah, that's to your point.
And maybe I just ask the chair to confirm, they have been in contact with you because they're copying me as my representation. So they are in contact with LAFCO right now.
Yes.
Can I ask a clarification? You said that it has to be coming from the landowners or the city adjacent.
Correct.
So that means the city can proactively request to annex,
The city can submit an application.
submit
to
an
LAFCO.
application,
Mhm.
and then it would go through a process, and
Correct.
the landowners could even vehemently oppose it, and it could still happen.
Correct.
Okay.
Wait, it can still
Well,
happen?
excuse me, sorry.
They
The
can't- they have to
landowners,
vote in
the
favor.
landowners can protest it,
Mhm.
and depending on a threshold vote. If
Threshold
it's
vote, yeah.
less than 25% of protests, then the item would move forward.
25%
Oh,
could block it, or
If it's 25%, let's say over that 25% threshold, then that annexation could go to an election. If it's over 50% threshold, then that would the annexation would be terminated.
okay.
Yeah, so we had in Pleasant Valley in
Yeah.
Pleasant Valley Avenue in Livermore. We tried to get this area annexed for years and the community opposed it. And finally, with the Board of Supervisors putting up $300,000 for a sewer connection, we finally got it passed, but I think it was 7-6. It was very close. Or it would not have happened. They'd still be an island. And these islands tend to be problematic for LAFCOs. But if they don't want to be annexed, it's not going to happen. And it's my understanding that they've never wanted to be annexed. They didn't want sidewalks. In fact, at this in these chambers, they specifically said, we don't want sidewalks. We don't want streetlights. So that's why their infrastructure is crumbling. Be careful what you ask for, you just might get it.
Can you hear me? No.
Commissioner Miley, are you trying to speak?
Yes. Are you having a difficult time hearing me?
Yes, a bit, but I think we can hear you if you project your voice a little louder.
Yeah, I don't understand what's wrong with my computer here. But what I was saying is, I think we should just agendize the Raymond track for an informational report as opposed to all this conversation. You know, I've been on the LAFCO for 24 years. I'm very familiar with the Raymond track and the city of Pleasanton. But I think instead of all this back and forth, it should be agendized for a public discussion, as well as the issue around Castlewood Water should be agendized for public discussion before LAFCO.
Thank you, Commissioner Miley. And that is something that staff will put on our work plan. Currently, we do want to provide an informational report on islands. So I will present that to the commission.
And just for clarification, the previous executive officer spent at least one, if not two, meetings with the public out there discussing kind of the issues all around annexation. So there should be some records in the LAFCO records from what Mona did. Any other matters from the commission? I'll turn this back to staff for the executive officer's report.
Thank you, Chair. So just wanted to provide an update on our organization that we're a part of, the California Association of Local Agency Formation Commissions, CalLAFCO. Right now, CalLAFCO is going through a transition process of its own. On March 14th of this year, we received a letter. It was addressed to the commission and staff in response to some concerns raised by other member LAFCOs regarding CalLAFCO's governance, transparency, and overall organizational direction. Through that, there has been some issues in regards to some changes to the CalLAFCO's legislative committee, as well as to some leadership issues. So the letter highlights what the CalLAFCO board and staff are doing to kind of help and address these concerns from other LAFCOs. And a few of them, they assigned an interim executive director, Jose Hernandez, Henriquez, responsible for day-to-day operations, fiscal management, and member communication. He's assisting CalLAFCO right now through this transition process. And then we have our former CalLAFCO executive director, Pamela Miller. She's working as a consultant, conducting a full structure review for CalLAFCO to help with rebranding and reorganizing the organization. And we also have a meeting scheduled for the end of this month, May 28th, for the CalLAFCO Coastal Region. Alameda LAFCO will be in attendance, and that will be hosted by Pamela Miller, just trying to get some informed discussion and figuring out the best way forward. Unfortunately, due to those previous changes, it seems that some other member LAFCOs are looking to pull out of CalLAFCO, the organization. So we're trying to rectify and come to a solution to make sure that all the member LAFCOs stay and that, there's better communication and transparency with that organization. So I will continue to provide updates to the commission on that.
Thank you. Let's go to informational items.
We'll have a report on, for the most part, everything has, remained status quo in terms of pending proposals and our work plan to date. But April, our commission clerk will provide an update on this Cal LAFCO staff workshop.
On the 30th of April through May the 2nd, we had the staff workshop conference, which took place in scenic Temecula, California, with approximately 85 attendees. Key topics that they discussed were CEQA, protest hearings, MSR hearings, island annexations, and the launch of regional focus groups beginning in May. And Rachel mentioned about them attending on May the 28th, of us attending for the coastal regional focus groups. And on the final day, to keep everyone active and staying, because sometimes people leave early because it ends at 12 o'clock on that Friday. So they gave a prize to anyone who would stay late, which was kind of nice. And Fresno LAFCO won the prize, which consisted of getting a free conference for annual. They got the free conference for the annual, as well as a staff workshop for next year. So that's wonderful. And our Cal LAFCO annual conference will be in October, I believe it's the 16th or the 18th in San Diego. So that'll be nice to attend as well. But so Pamela Miller did about a 3-hour focus group style sessions where we all gathered together in our different groups, and we came up, not unlike our staff workshop when we got together and we put all the things that were important to us as Alameda LAFCO on the board, and she's gathered that information on a future and gives us so it will give us future direction for Cal LAFCO in the future. So that was very informational. It was nice to network with everyone and stay connected. So thanks.
Thank you. Let's see, item number 12 would be to adjourn the regular meeting. So meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.